Our next panel discussion, Driving Possibilities, STEM Initiatives, presented by Toyota.
All right, good morning, Detroit. Thank you all for braving the frigid weather this morning to be with us for the Global Mobility Forum Driving Possibilities STEM Initiative panel discussion. You know, it's no secret that car companies don't always see eye to eye on things, but when it comes to agreeing on the importance of STEM professionals to sustain our business, we all agree that we need to do more. But when we talk about educating our next generation of STEM professionals and inspire the younger generations, we have some challenges. So the purpose of this session is to learn more about the challenges that our local educators have in teaching and promoting STEM, and how the Driving Possibilities Initiative is helping educators to mitigate some of these challenges and expose students to potential careers in STEM education. Now, my name's Jeff McArowitz. I'm a Group Vice President for Toyota R&D, located in Saline, Michigan, and I'm also a Director of the Toyota USA Foundation, Toyota's philanthropic arm, and the organization that's been administering Driving Possibilities. Now, today I have the pleasure of moderating an esteemed panel, who I'll introduce momentarily, that will join me in a conversation about STEM needs in our K-12 educational system, and provide insights as to how Driving Possibilities is supporting their needs. But first, I'd like to take a few minutes to set the stage and introduce the genesis and objectives of Driving Possibilities. Now, like many of your organizations, Toyota is a global company, and we have global talent needs. Toyota Motor North America is our North American arm, and we have a large R&D organization scattered across the United States. However, with campuses in Ann Arbor and Saline, we consider Southeast Michigan our North American R&D headquarters. And we have over 2,000 STEM professionals who are researching, developing, designing, building, and testing the next generation of Toyota vehicles and technologies. And as technologies like connected and automated and electrification redefine our industry, it's really important that we plan for the long term to ensure that we have a sustainable pipeline for STEM talent. Now, when it comes to STEM talent, Toyota in our industry needs to do more. According to the National Association of Manufacturing and Deloitte, over the next decade, 3.5 million manufacturing and STEM-related jobs will be available. Yet 2 million are expected to go unfilled due to the STEM skills gap. In other words, we won't have the talent necessary to sustain our businesses. Further, it's important to recognize that STEM fields have emerged as key drivers of economic growth and innovation worldwide. And as the U.S. strives to compete globally with other countries, the fact is that China is graduating 4 times the number of STEM graduates than the United States. Additionally, according to a study by the recruiting firm Randstad, here in the US, STEM has a branding problem with younger generations. In fact, due to the lack of visibility into STEM fields, 52% of students between the ages of 11 and 17 don't know anyone with a STEM job. And 76% can't tell you what an engineer does. So as a leader in R&D, we at Toyota realize that we need to change this by being part of the solution. And we need to ensure that everyone has an opportunity to obtain one of these high-demand, high-paying STEM jobs. Now, cue in Driving Possibilities. Driving Possibilities is a $110 million career readiness and community engagement initiative of the Toyota USA Foundation. It focuses on preparing youth for the careers of tomorrow while addressing root causes that impact learning. These causes could include issues such as food insecurity, literacy, or transportation. Driving Possibilities focuses on Toyota's U.S. operational communities, building on long-standing local partnerships with a new approach to community engagement. Phase 1 of this program was launched back in 2023 in 9 locations where we have business units, as shown by the red dots, and this includes Southeast Michigan. We have plans to expand in 6 more locations in the near future. Now, the goals of Driving Possibilities are straightforward. First, we want to increase excitement, awareness, and readiness in grades K through 12 for STEM careers. Next, we want to coordinate community-based services to fuel innovative solutions. And ultimately, we want to identify, reduce, and remove barriers that may impact success. And going forward, we welcome the participation of other businesses to engage in this program to support with mentoring, training, and overall career readiness. And last, this is more than just providing money. We wanted to include and engage our team members who are more than willing to share their time, their experiences, and their knowledge with the younger generations. Now let me share this quick cartoon to explain a little bit more about how Driving Possibilities works.
Driving Possibilities is a new way of bringing schools and communities together to create limitless possibilities for all. Here's how it works. First, we put the student at the center. We work with them, their families, teachers, community members, and local business partners to understand what each student needs in order to succeed and what's standing in their way. Young people can face many roadblocks on their journey. The stress of not having enough food, transportation issues, lack of access to the right class, the right mentor, or even the right supports. We listen to what students need, and then we work together to come up with solutions. Solutions that help all students thrive, at school and in the jobs of the future. Whether it's helping teachers be their best, strengthening STEM programs across all learning levels, meeting students' basic needs, such as nourishment and mobility, or reimagining the school day with built-in essential supports, like mental health services or caring guidance from a mentor. Working together makes the whole journey stronger, connecting people and programs to create new pathways to opportunity for the problem solvers of tomorrow, contributing to thriving communities, stronger local economies, and limitless possibilities for all.
So, in early 2023, we set out to explore how and where to deploy Driving Possibilities in Southeast Michigan. And as we did our due diligence, I made 3 requests to my exploration team. First, I didn't want to just throw money at an issue and walk away. So I asked the team to select a partner who really wants a sustainable partnership, someone that's willing to allow engagement and mentoring from our team members. Second, I wanted them to make it clear that this is not a program where Toyota is going to come in and tell them how to do their business. Rather, I wanted us to listen to the administrators, to the teachers, to the parents, and to the students, to understand their needs and requests so that we can, again, be part of the solution. And last, while Toyota is launching this program, I really want this to be a larger effort. So I want to invite other organizations and industry partners to also join our efforts going forward. So after talking to several local school districts and organizations, we were very excited to select Ypsilanti Community and Lincoln Consolidated Schools as our partners of choice and award them with a grant of nearly $11 million over 5 years to address their fundamental K-12 STEM needs. Further, we agreed to partner with Eastern Michigan University to create the STEM Education Institute to coordinate and administer the program. And as one of our first actions was to convene a series of workshops and bring together some of the key players and STEM experts in our community from Eastern Michigan University, the University of Michigan, Washtenaw Community College, Washtenaw Intermediate School Districts, and many others to start a dialogue and identify some of these needs and opportunities, focusing on areas such as strategy, curriculum, STEM awareness, and basic needs. So now that you know a little bit more about Driving Possibilities, I'd like to transition to our panel and introduce some of our key partners in this endeavor. First, Dr. Sabrina Collins is a chemist and educator who has spent her entire career encouraging young people to pursue careers in the STEM fields. Beginning in August 2024, she was appointed as the director of Eastern Michigan University's Institute for STEM Education, Outreach, and Workforce Development. Dr. Collins is a native Detroiter and earned her BA in chemistry from Wayne State University and a PhD in the field of inorganic chemistry from The Ohio State University. Next, Robert Jansen brings 29 years of dedicated service as an education, as a teacher, coach, principal, and for the past 5 years, superintendent of Lincoln Consolidated Schools. Throughout his career, he has been passionate about embedding STEM opportunities to inspire innovation and prepare students for the future. He is driven by the belief in fostering positive, trusting relationships, ensuring safety, and prioritizing what is best for kids in an equitable environment. And next, Dr. Elena Zachary-Ross is an accomplished educational leader with extensive experience in K-12 school administration and central office management. She has served as the superintendent of Ypsilanti Community Schools since 2018 and was previously superintendent in Okemos Public Schools and Muskegon Heights Public School Academy system. Her educational background includes a bachelor's degree in special education and psychology from Grand Valley State University, a master's degree in education psychology from Wayne State University, and an education doctorate in educational leadership from Michigan State University. And last but not least, Talia Hinton. Talia is an ambitious 8th grader enrolled in the prestigious International Baccalaureate program at Ypsilanti Community Middle School. A dedicated honor roll student, Talia exemplifies leadership and excellence as she proudly serves on the principal's leadership team, the National Junior Honor Society, and the Student Council. She's an all-around athlete and musician, but Talia's achievements extend beyond the school walls, as she is the undefeated driver of the Golden Grizzly, an all-female 1080 racing team, which recently achieved first-place victories at the National Society of Black Engineers Conference in Atlanta, Georgia, and the 1080 Racing Championship in Charlotte, North Carolina. Passionate about STEM, Talia aspires to become a mechanical engineer and plans on joining Toyota after earning her degree, and I certainly can't wait to welcome her at Toyota on her first day. So again, please give me help me give a big warm applause to our panel.
All right, here we go.
Okay, so thank you all again for joining us today. Let's just jump right in. So I think everybody can understand the importance and the benefits of a STEM education and a STEM degree. However, reality is we're still having difficulty and challenges inspiring and engaging the younger generations to pursue STEM careers. Share with me a little bit about your experiences in your districts, and Bob, I guess we'll start with you.
Sounds great.
What are some of the challenges that you have?
Well, first, Jeff, thank you so much for inviting us, and on behalf of our Splitter Nation, our students that are here today, we're so thankful to be here, and it's such an honor to be on the stage with Dr. Collins, Talia, and Dr. Zachary-Ross. But for us, some of the challenges, like you just touched on it, is introducing STEM much earlier. So giving kids opportunities, experiences at earlier ages. And so really we're trying to promote that, and with this wonderful partnership, really down to preschool, elementary schools, giving kids opportunities to see that STEM is everywhere. It's not an isolated curriculum, it's something that you teach once a week, but really across the curriculum. So our work is on aligning our curriculum, making sure that you see STEM throughout the day, and then giving kids opportunities to see themselves in these fields of the future. And as we all know, the world is changing so quickly. The pace of change is a true challenge for us. It used to be 3 to 5 years to make drastic changes. With AI, the current AI, and all the quick changes that are happening, we're trying to stay in front of all those things and making sure that we're giving kids the opportunities, the experiences, and then again, seeing themselves in the jobs of the future. And the one beautiful thing that Driving Possibilities has brought to us is the opportunity to take away barriers. Kids don't get to pick their situations, and certain kids get the opportunity to go on family trips, to go to museums, and all those types of opportunities. Not everybody gets those opportunities, so what Driving Possibilities is doing in this partnership is we're taking away those barriers and giving kids true life experiences and the opportunity to see themselves in the jobs of the future so that they can realize their dreams and aspirations.
Yeah. Awesome. And Elena, obviously, as Bobby alluded to, getting kids excited in high school, maybe that's too late, right? We need middle school, we need elementary school. How do you provide those opportunities of engagement and to get them really excited and interested?
Yes, again, I want to thank you too, and I want to make sure we shout out IPSI students. IPSI students, say hi out there. Thanks for being here. You know, it's doing things like we're doing right now. I'm glad they're here to see it, to see the cars. We've got to make sure that we provide project-based learning starting way younger, starting at our preschool, making sure that our parents, our community members are engaged in understanding. You heard the governor say it today. We've got to make sure that everybody knows, from our parents, from our bus drivers that are involved, our cooks involved. We've got to immerse our entire community in ensuring everybody is a part of the learning, ensuring that when you say that there's going to be 3.5 million jobs, but they're going to be 2 million short, we got to all say, not under my watch. We can't afford to let the jobs go somewhere else. And so we've got to start at the youngest age, making sure that they see themselves as a part of changing the face of what it is in Michigan and making it our responsibility. So we're bringing the jobs inside the school. We got to bring them in and show them that they can be the engineers, that they can be a part of this changing ecosystem. So we bring them inside the classroom. We put them inside of play and dress them up as far as being the engineers, being the doctors, being the lawyers, and ensuring that they see themselves a part of the job market. Because if they can't see themselves in it, they can't be it. And so all of us, showing Talia that she can be the driver of the robotics team, she's got to see herself as the driver. And so all of us got to be a part of that.
Awesome. So as we look toward engaging and providing opportunities for children to see people like themselves in these careers and inspiring the courage and the confidence to pursue, Sabrina, you have a challenging job now. You're appointed director of the EMU STEM Institute.
Right.
Tell us a little bit more about this institute, and what do you see as your priorities as being new in this role?
Thank you. Yeah, I'm glad to be here. Happy New Year, everyone. So the STEM Ed Institute, you can essentially think of it as a community-driven hub, really to promote STEM education and careers. It's a resource hub for Washtenaw County to encourage local students to pursue a STEM career. And through the generous funding from Toyota, we focus on 3 key areas. So education, working with wonderful district leaders and teachers to develop a curriculum aligned with industry needs. You have outreach, focused on STEM awareness and providing field trip experiences, guest speakers coming to the classroom, and also workforce development, where every student from Lincoln High School and IPSI High School will have the opportunity to earn at least one stackable STEM credential, so that's skilled trades. And we have obviously a very broad audience, so obviously K-12 teachers and students, families, community leaders, business leaders, and also education prep programs. But what I would say is priorities for me, and as you said, I was appointed August 1st, really is number one, relationship building, right? And that's key, relationship building with district leaders and teachers, because you have to build that trust. And we can't do this work alone. You have to do it in a collaborative manner. But secondly is getting out in the district, visiting schools, meeting principals, again, building those relationships. But lastly, and it's something that Superintendent Zachary Ross just said about parent engagement. You know, it's not just about getting kids excited about STEM. Of course, we want to do that. We want to also provide programming for parents, you know, STEM programs as well. And so that's kind of our priorities. And I'm having a lot of fun and just honored to be here.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Now, one individual that maybe doesn't need a whole lot of encouragement is Talia. Again, thank you, Talia, for being with us today. Boy, what remarkable accomplishments already in your very young career. But tell us a little bit about T10. For those that aren't familiar with the program, the 1080, the racing program. Tell us a little bit about that.
So 1080 is a racing program of where you can create and design your car, and then you can race them along with other schools nationwide. That's it.
Okay. Well, your principal was kind enough to share some photos with me, you and some of your adventures. Can you maybe just take a few moments and explain what these are all about?
All right, so here is our team at the airport. This is probably during Charlotte, where we were going for our second race. And here is my teammate standing next to me for Atlanta. And there is me holding the car, is that the boys' car? The car that we use for the boys' team. And then here is where we met people from Toyota that worked. And I also have a hat of from Toyota, and that is the girls' team at the bottom, all 6 of us.
Awesome, awesome. And I heard from your principal that for you and many of the students, this was your first time actually taking a flight on an airplane and going out of the state, staying in a hotel. And so talking about experiential learning, what a remarkable opportunity for you to be able to travel and learn about these activities. Now, I have to ask, what was the secret sauce? What made you interested in science and technology and engineering and math? How did you get acclimated or aware of this?
So it was probably the things that we can do in there. I thought it was very interesting to do, and so I got into it, and I had a lot of fun doing it there also.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, what advice would you have to your colleagues out in the audience? If someone's thinking about STEM, they're not sure they can do it, or if someone wants to join your 1080 team, but they're not sure they can do it, what advice would you have for them?
They should do it. I believe that they have the courage to do it, and they should never give up on what they want to do, and that's it.
Wonderful. Well, again, thank you so much for sharing that, and again, I wish you all the best moving forward here. Turning back to Driving Possibilities, share with me how Driving Possibilities has impacted your district so far. Share with me some of the, maybe it's only been around a year and a half, but give me some of the short-term success stories.
How much time do we have, Jeff?
Yeah.
Well, first thing, the people on stage right now, a prime example of how Driving Possibilities has really brought partnerships together. This is our centennial year, 100-year anniversary. We were connected with Eastern Michigan, but it has strengthened our Eastern Michigan partnership. Partnering with wonderful people like YCS and Dr. Zachary Ross, the collaboration across districts, us working together, again, keeping the focus on what's best for kids, and all of us, taking the resources. And what Driving Possibilities has done, not only Eastern Michigan, our 2 districts, but our WISD, but also other partners that are out there, helping bring all the partners together for the simple fact of helping our kids achieve their potential. And that's been a big excitement for us. When we talk about the curriculum alignment, we've had opportunities for our teachers, both districts, to collaborate, to really look at, obviously you have to have teacher ownership and buy-in on what you're doing, so them being able to roll up their sleeves, partner together to collaborate, to create these units with outcomes of these experiences, so all of our kids will get access to these experiences in an equitable way. But things like barriers, I talked earlier about transportation. Sometimes, we'll have clubs before or after schools. Not all our parents have the opportunity to get kids back and forth. Here in Lincoln, we're very reliant on transportation, and if a kid can't get to a simple event, then they just can't participate. So, generosity of Toyota, each district we're given 3 beautiful new vans to help take away those barriers. So, when opportunities are out there, our mindset now is the kids are going to get there. We're just going to figure out how to get them to whatever that event is so they can have those opportunities. So I mean, again, it's just the alignment of partnerships, bringing the folks together. And we're open to many more. Donna Bentley is our community engagement coordinator. So anybody that's interested in joining our partnership, this collaboration, May 5th, we're having a huge STEM event in Lincoln where all of our elementary kids, 1,500 kids, are going to be exposed. Some of you are already are lined up for our STEM event, but again, it's exposing kids at young ages so that they can see themselves in the jobs of the future. So, Jeff, but I could keep going. I want to also share with our partners up here.
How about Elena? How about your district?
Yeah, you know, oftentimes our teachers are all along. I look at Mr. Kim over there, one of our amazing CTE teachers, and he's had an opportunity through Driving Possibilities to collaborate with other teachers along with Lincoln and bringing in Ryan Rowe through Driving Possibilities. I think about the fact that we weren't able to go on some of the field trips, but through Driving Possibilities, we're able to give them field trip dollars, so now they can go and be able to request field trips for the rest of the year to be able to say, okay, now through my principal, I can request and draw down on field trips for the buildings that don't have the magnet grants. And now we're also able to look at what can we do to collaborate and have grade level STEM engaged opportunities so that we can deepen our learning, because we understand if we're going to change this ecosystem and make sure that we're ready for these jobs in the future, we've got to be ensuring what kind of lessons we're going to have at every single grade level to ensure that people can leave out to be ready for this new world of work. And so there's so many things that we're doing, ensuring that you all are coming into our classrooms. We don't have access to people who were like the people on the stage. You are saying, do you know that person on the stage who are right before us? You all have provided us opportunity to resources and to people and partners that we would have never had access to before. And so these partnerships that we already have made and already what you're looking forward to for the next 3 years, I'm just so excited to have these new access and partnerships. And so what our students are looking at, engaged with, and it might not be the big things. It's even the small things, the football game that we had. I mean, that seems so small, but the fun things that they had, the access to the cars and the trucks, those things are really fun and exciting to our students too. And I look forward to more of it.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I have to share, that is one of my favorite events. For those of you that aren't aware, we've turned the rivalry football game into a STEM event. And so I know our team members really love to go out there and talk a little bit about Toyota and automotive and vehicles, and really try and, again, start a little bit of a spark there with a little bit of interest to ask questions.
Absolutely, and I just add to, we have these ideas that you throw out there, but in public education, we're so reliant on, and we're thankful for the last few years, the funding that we've gotten from the state government and federal government, but as you plan these lessons, these opportunities, we often run into trying to rely on the money that we get from the government, barriers that, but again, Driving Possibilities has come in and said, hey, we have these ideas, here's some financial support to make it a reality for the kids. And that is something too that has driven it home. But the game's been a great time. The big solar eclipse not so long ago that the Driving Possibilities said, here's safety glasses, so all of your kids can participate. Like Dr. Zachary Ross mentioned, the little things that you've stepped forward and helped bring to the table. So we're very appreciative.
Awesome. And Sabrina, why is it important that industry comes to the table and be part of the solution? I know we're a main consumer of STEM education and STEM professionals, but why is it so important at early ages, elementary school, middle school, that industry plays a role?
You know what, I think that's a great question, and I would have to say workforce development, right, and also driving innovation. And I know I'm probably preaching to the choir, but when you talk about workforce development, we have an aging workforce. And we need students, we need talent to fill those positions. That's why it's incredible to partner with Toyota, to fulfill those needs. And the thing is with students, so we want, and I'm echoing a little bit what my colleagues have said here, it's important that students, understand how STEM shapes their daily lives, their experiences. And as educators, what we want to do when we're recruiting students to these fields, if they want to be a chemist, and I'm saying chemistry because I'm a chemist, greatest discipline ever, You know, we want to say to these students, if you pursue these fields, this is how it can impact your community. You know, really seeing how do you apply these fields, you know, to the daily experiences.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So let me ask you to fill in the blank. So to help promote STEM, we should, Elena, do you want to start?
Make it exciting and relevant.
Yeah.
Make it accessible
Yep.
for all kids. And again, the parents. I mean, we touched on this, having events where we can not only take care of the kids, but the families as well. So
Make it fun.
We'll
So
make it fun.
exciting, fun.
Yeah. And Talia, what's your favorite part about STEM?
My favorite part about STEM?
Yeah.
I'd say math.
Yeah.
I like doing math a lot. It's kind of fun and it kind of makes me focus to do.
Awesome. Good. And let me circle back. You know, again, it comes down to awareness, engagement, this experiential learning. Just touch on that again. Why is that experience so important, right? We teach math and reading and writing, but it's hard to teach experience, right? So talk a little bit about that.
you know, for us, obviously, you know, just imagine our kindergarten preschool kids right now and the pace of change and how quickly things are evolving. You know, when these kids graduate from high school, college, what is the world going to look like? So, you know, we've focused in on our Portrait of a Graduate, you know, soft skills like critical thinking, communication, collaboration, adaptability, global citizenship, making sure you know, the world is so global right now that kids can interact, understand cultures from others, have that cultural respect, and then the most important piece being empathy. Obviously, with technology, all the things that are evolving, we need to produce quality human beings and instilling that empathy piece of that. So taking that mindset of the portrait and then connecting that to lessons and making sure that it's relevant throughout the curriculum, and that with that common focus of this is going to be the output. No matter how the world evolves, right now, you know, a kindergarten kid, what we're teaching in class, what's the world going to look like when they graduate? So by instilling these competencies, we're instilling them. We feel like we're preparing them for whatever the world's going to be, so that they're adaptable and they can be successful. So I encourage you to talk to both the YCS or LCS kids. These kids have all the answers, and I tell you, part of this, what I appreciate about Driving Possibilities is, you know, they talk to the adults on stage, but they also we've had opportunities for our kids to be able to give feedback. And again, for them to have the opportunity to interact, to talk to the professionals that are out there, but they are the future.
That's right. That's right. Elena, anything to add?
You know, and this is why we have to spend so much time working together, allowing our teachers to revamp their units. Science is so much different now. STEAM is so much different now. When we went to school, what that science unit used to look like was so different. So now these project-based units and what is happening in the classroom is so entirely different. We're at Holmes Elementary right now in our buildings using special paint to paint the cafeteria so that the students can throw balls on the wall to learn math. I mean, like, we're revamping what K-12 looks like and feels like, and it should happen because what's happening to build a car is changing. And so if we go about teaching students the same way that we learned, there's a problem. And so this is why you asked the question, because we have to reframe how teachers are teaching in our classrooms. And this is why students are pushing back to their teachers right now, because we are fundamentally in K-12 have been a long time saying we want to do it like we did it when we learned. And so we're understanding now when we're working with industry professionals that we now must go back and say, okay, this is no longer working. When we're talking to industry professionals like you at Toyota, you're helping us understand, nope, we're not making cars anymore. When we're talking to Mr. Kim, who came from a different profession, he's saying, nope, this isn't working. And he's bringing in professionals, and they're saying, we'll hire your people on the spot because you understand. And that's what we have to do. We have to partner with people who are hiring folks, who are are saying this is the labor market and we need you to make sure they're ready. And we have to start really early, like we started this conversation. We've got to start making sure that students and families understand that we've got to retool, and we've got to keep changing and changing and changing. We can't write a book and start saying, okay, this is the book that we bought in 1947, and we're going to keep it for the students, and it's going to go up with them into their seniors. And so that's what we have to do in education. We have to keep changing and adapting and be flexible and nimble and make it interesting and relevant and continue to do it. And that's the challenge now for education. Education isn't used to it. Education isn't comfortable with it. We have to be comfortable being uncomfortable, and we have to meet students where they are. And we call it, in YCS this year, we've been talking about making sure that we unleash the brilliance, because they're already brilliant. Right. They're already geniuses. We just got to help them unleash the brilliance. They are brilliant. Just look at them. They're brilliant. Brilliant. We just got to help them unleash the brilliance that they already have. And so they are the ones that's going to make this new car, whatever it is, that's going to make it more efficient, that's going to help us be able to create that new thing. And we just have to continue to work with you to make sure that we make sure that they're ready.
Thank you, because we can use all the help we can get, at least here at Toyota R&D. Thank you. Yeah. So Sabrina, Elena mentioned about partnerships. If there is someone that's interested in learning more about driving possibilities, or maybe even becoming a part of it, what do you advise them to do?
Yeah, we certainly want to expand partnerships. We are interested in leveraging digital platforms to reach a wider audience. If anyone is interested and wants to join, please talk to us. So we are at one of the greatest events on earth, so talk to us as well. Also, our assistant director of the STEM Ed Institute, Zach Kraus. We're doing some amazing things, and just honored to collaborate.
Awesome, thank you. Well, let me give a selfish plug here. This is your call to action. This QR code is a direct link to Sabrina, who I know would be more than happy to connect with you afterward to answer any questions or certainly provide more information. But just, I guess in closing, first of all, I want to thank the Detroit Auto Show and the Mobility Global Forum for having us today. I'd like to thank our wonderful panel for taking time out of your really busy schedules. I know some of you have to take off right afterwards to get to important meetings in Lansing, but your time, your efforts are greatly appreciated. Talaya, thank you for being here today. And I tell you what, as an aspiring Toyota engineer, you need to have some Toyota swag. All right.
Thank you.
So you can start to represent now. But I just want to quote, the Honorable Congresswoman Debbie Dingell said that Talaya and her generation may only represent 25% of our population, but they represent 100% of our future. That's right. And I think that's really true. So it's really important that we continue to support them. And lastly, I'd like to thank all of you for your very kind attention this morning. Please enjoy the rest of the show, and best wishes for a healthy, happy, and STEM-filled 2025. Thank you, everyone.